Nexus of Revels Token Cat Demon Strategy. What is up, everybody? It is Chris from One More Game coming at you with a new Capenna deck tech for something I'm absolutely pretty stoked to play out. It is Jetmire Nexus of Revels, 1 in Naya colors for a 5/4 cat demon. This is the massively go wide strategy. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have vigilance as long as you control 3 or more creatures. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample as long as you have 6 or more creatures. And the best part of all, creatures you control also get +1/+0 and have double strike as long as you have 9 or more creatures. With this deck, we're going to amass a massive army of so many tokens in the battlefield. We are so simply and easily going to attain to that 9 creatures, and our creatures are now going to get +3/+0, vigilance, trample, and double strike. Now let's go over some of those cards because I am stoked to build this deck. Within the colors of Naya, there is already so many token themes out there that this is basically a shoo-in to be the overlord of the true token strategy. First and foremost, let's go over some of the cards we want to include to help produce more tokens. Great staples for token decks would include Risk the Redeemed, Scoot Swarm, and Avenger of Zendikar. These cards are pretty much placed into every single deck that is playing a token-based strategy. These cards are phenomenal. In addition to other cards that throw out overall tokens, we have Dragon Fodder, Krenko's Command, Join the Dance, Raise the Alarm, Hordling Outburst, Release the Dogs, Increasing Devotion. There are so many cards out there that can put out so many tokens at once. We also have great additions with Adeline Resplendent Cathar, Martial Coup, and Asika's Chariot. The amount of token strategies we have out there is going to put this board at 9 creatures almost instantaneously. Since we are a Naya-based build, we have so many options to get ramp on the overall field. We want to ramp up as soon as possible with cards as Avacyn's Pilgrim, Thinhorn Elves, Llanowar Elves, and Soul Ring to get as much mana as efficiently as possible to get Jetmir on the battlefield. Additionally, cards like Cryptolith Rite and even Harvest Season are insane additions to this deck because now all your creatures can become actual mana dorks themselves in addition to everything else. Extra options would include Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, Sakura Tribe Elder, and some Signets and some Talisman, because overall, getting as many creatures on the battlefield as possible is a great addition to this deck. Because we are going to be playing so much ramp, we want to make sure we draw as much cards as possible because we want to not have an empty hand at any point in the game. Great cards to include will be Toski Bearer of Secrets and Oran Frostfang, because when a creature you control deals damage to an opponent, we're going to draw a card. So we want to double up on those triggers. It's even better that Oran Frostfang gives our attacking creatures Death Touch, so those little 1/1s can become massive threats. Additionally, we have Skull Clamp and Shamanic Revelation, because those 2 cards themselves can draw in a massive amount of overall value with our tokens. Now, since the entire board is going to be filled with so many creatures, it's great to even just buff them up a little bit more. Intangible Virtue is going to give everything that's a token +1/+1. Beastmaster Ascension is going to buff our board because we're going to be swinging in like no tomorrow. Champion of Lambhold because we want to make those creatures unblockable, so it makes it even better. Chroma's Will because that's that last finisher that just kicks everyone in the rear. Additionally, Triumph of the Hordes because why not just kill our opponents even faster than normal? And then just overall creature board states to buff the board will be Maja Bredegar Protector and Trostani Discordant. We want to buff this team up as soon as possible, and with Jetmir and these additional buff value cards, the board's going to be massive in no time at all. Since we're going to have so many creatures entering the battlefield, we want to add some extra value. Boros Charm, Bala Ged Recovery, and Eternal Witness give the board state a solid value. That way we get the protection and recursion. Jeska's Will, everyone knows Jeska's Will. It's one of the best cards to play if you're playing red. Since we have so many creatures entering the battlefield, we want to make sure we're getting some damage off those creatures just by their effects themselves. Perforos God of the Forge, Goblin Bombardment, and Impact Tremors can turn our overall 1/1 fodder into some serious damage on the board. Then we have cards such as Second Harvest, Shalai Voice of Plenty, and Parallel Evolution to double up on all of our actual tokens themselves, and just a massive, big board state with tokens and protection. This is some serious value just from a bunch of little 1/1s turning into a massive army. And then lastly, we have some just basic removal. Nature's Claim, Pest Infestation to get even more tokens. The Swords, Return to Nature because that instant ability of removing a card from a graveyard puts some serious value. Then we have some overall wrath effects. Hour of Reckoning is probably one of the favorite ones of all because it destroys all non-token creatures, and it has Convoke, so you can cast this as little as 3 white mana and keep all your tokens in the battlefield. But if not, we also have Vanquish the Horde and Blasphemous Act. Extra great options to add to the deck, but are a little bit higher of a lower price point, will be Akroma's Memorial, because this is just going to make pretty much everything on the board indestructible and destroy instantly. Tendershoot Dryad, because it's going to trigger on each upkeep, so this can basically get 3 rotations and 3 more creatures. And then Elish Norn Grand Cenobite, because if you're playing tokens and you have the money to splurge, this is a card you definitely want to play out. Highly, highly recommend this one. And that is my quick deck take of Jetmir Nexus of Revels. I am absolutely stoked for this commander because in Naya, there are so many options to put out straight draw value, and with red and white, the amount of tokens we can create are a massive amount of tokens. I am absolutely stoked. I'd love to hear how you build this deck out because just like you, I'm pretty sure we're all extremely excited for Streets of New Capenna. The deck tech is going to be down in the description down below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification for future videos. Again, my name is Chris from One More Game MTG. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you soon. Peace.